All right, welcome to Witchpolice Radio. I'm here with another participant in these shows that are happening coming up very soon. And I think the best way to start this off is for people who aren't familiar with you and your music, if you could, introduce yourself and maybe give a bit of background about what it is you do as an artist.
Yeah, my name is Odyn, Odyn. I'm a rapper, artist, recording artist. I'm also a producer, engineer as well. Yeah, I've been making music for about 2 to 3 years now,
Okay.
and putting out music, doing shows in Winnipeg. I'm Nigerian as well. It's been quite an experience for me so far, and yeah, I can't wait to do this show with the Creative Side Entertainment. It's for sure
Well,
gonna be.
how would you define your sound? Because I think we're in an era now where we're just saying that you're a rapper and that you're hip hop artist. There's so many sort of subgenres and different directions that hip hop has taken, especially in recent years. So how would you sort of define your particular sound in the overall rap umbrella?
I feel like everybody always says like they like to place labels on things. I feel music is moving to a place where it's more genre like crossing over because we grow up with like all types of music is so accessible. It's like you can make anything now. So I feel I always like to experiment, but I would say I'm very much like uh more contemporary, like more recent stuff, like similar to like trap, but make like trap music. I'm also influenced by like R&B. I'm also Nigerian. I'm influenced like by Afro beats and like stuff like that at times. I think my music is always like a good vibe, something you can like at times like easy to listen to. It's like familiar but like interesting. It's like slightly different, and I feel like I always try to bring like a unique take on things, authentic take on whatever I'm doing. And yeah, I feel like it shows. So really go listen to it and find out. But yeah, I'd say like yeah,
Well,
more contemporary. Sure.
I think it's interesting what you said too about how kind of genres are mixing together and all of that, and people's influences are coming from all over the place. Because you're right, we're in an era now where all music from all countries and all styles is all just sort of available at the click of a button, so people can get influenced by a lot of things that 15, 20 years ago wouldn't have been an option because it's all there right now, right in front of you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like I think even like for me, like I'm from yeah, in my generation for sure, like we had all types of stuff like everywhere, man. Like I remember when I was like a little kid, like in Nigeria, man, like I grew up really hearing like hip hop from all over. I listened to like UK rap and grime as well. I listened to like all types of things that I wouldn't have been exposed to if it was like 20 years, like 10 years back. So yeah, I feel like it reflects in the kind of like creativity that you have with your music as well, because new music inspires me like to create differently and to like now my influences are like from all over the place. I feel like I have yeah, all kinds of influences. So yeah, the music comes out like that's what makes it original, I feel. I try to just yeah, keep it original.
Cool, cool. And you mentioned that you're from Nigeria. There seems to be a lot of people in Winnipeg, especially, doing music from Nigeria. Like every day I hear about new ones, new people either they're from Nigeria directly or they have Nigerian background. And it seems like there's a whole kind of segment of the local music scene that is people coming from Nigeria. What is it about that community that is so musical? Like it's cool to see.
Uh, uh, yeah, that's true. I feel like for one, there's just many of us. Like it's a movement, and I feel like as a people, Nigerians, we're very like I feel we're either like very hardworking, outgoing, or it's like we always like put ourselves out there. So in a creative space, that's what thrives. That's what's like, we know we have like we're confident in our style and our sound and our experiences, and we put that out there, and it just feels like it's like a Nigerian thing. It's what it eventually becomes. I've seen all types of like individuals and artists. There's so many. I can't even shout out all of them. And, like shout out like Cozy, ADT, YSOX, Odyn, Dean, all so many man. Like Santa Clara. Like I've seen even like upcoming artists like and the bigger ones too. Tommy Fields. So many. Like I don't know, but yeah, in general, yeah.
Do
Just
you,
had to throw a couple names out there.
no, no, that's great. Do you feel like there's a sense of community within among all those artists? Like, do you all know each other? Are you all sort of supporting each other's careers and everything at shows and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, like everybody I just mentioned, at least now, and like even others that I haven't mentioned, is like they're people that I've either like met in person, like as people, it's all mutual respect for the most part, man. Like I try to be cool with everyone. I feel like that's your job, like as an artist, if you're networking, like just meet people. And I feel music is a strong thing that brings people together. And so not just for like fans and people listening, like for the artists as well, you know, like that's a very powerful thing. So we are everybody kind of like knows most or everybody else as well. You know, it's just like you might not know if you don't know all these people as well. Like you don't know how they are. Some people might be close and you are work together. Or yeah.
Right. With this show, this future music show, what does it mean to you to sort of be on part of this and get your music introduced to hopefully a wider audience and maybe a different audience that is interested in the kind of stuff you do but hasn't heard you yet?
Um yeah, I feel like it's a good chance for me for sure to get out there. I'm always excited to do new things and work with new people and like yeah, uh just like see where I can really take this music thing. So I'm always grateful for a platform. And also I just love like performing, man. I just like the chance to like feel that energy with people. And yeah. So I it's a feels like a good opportunity and I'm looking forward to it. I got some big plans with it as well, for sure.
Cool. Well, and for people who are unfamiliar with your stuff, what's the best way to find your music at this point? I mean, we're in an era where people listen to music in so many different ways. And do you sort of have a somewhere you would suggest people check out online, whether it's through your social media or through streaming services, find your music?
Yeah, I put out my music everywhere I can. So my music is on like all of the DSPs. Uh so like I'd say like Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, like whatever you want. Like shout out I think I'm mostly on Spotify. It's probably the quickest way you find me, the most popular one, I guess. And like socials, like I'm on everything, man. Like I see everything. I'm not like yeah, I'm on everything. I guess like IG, like yeah. My IG is Odyn versus the world. That's the handle, and my username on all of my social media, all my music is ODYN Odyn. Like that's just it. So yeah, you can find me anywhere. It's pretty easy.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I've been talking to a lot of people about this upcoming event, and there's all kinds of people from different styles, representing sort of different backgrounds, different age groups, different cultural, history, everything. So I think the best way to start this off is if you want to introduce yourself and give a bit of background about what it is you do as an artist.
Um, well, my name's Reese. I've been making music since I was a kid, as long as I can remember, and it's just what I love to do. And it's basically it. Just all I do is just for the love and passion of music.
And how do you define the kind of stuff you do? Because I know again with this event, I mean, there's lots of people who are kind of encompassing different elements of hip hop. It's not only hip hop; people are bringing in different influences
Right.
from different areas. But where would you sort of say you fit within
Um,
the
to be
umbrella?
super general, I would just say pop, but like with music, there's so many genres and subgenres, right? So like you could call it indie pop, alternative pop, you know. Um, but I like making all types of music, so I make, rap, hip hop, pop music, like more alternative stuff, just kind of a wide variety. But most of the stuff that I post on Spotify and Apple is like pop music.
Okay. Do you have a background doing that kind of stuff? I mean, I see just seeing all the guitars in the background and looking at some of your stuff on Instagram. You're playing
Yeah,
on a lot of those too. Like, what's your sort of
yeah.
musical background?
So my family is like super musical. My dad actually plays in a band still, but he's been playing in a band since I was a kid. So I grew up watching him play shows, and he's kind of the lead man. So he plays guitar and sings, and I guess I always kind of wanted to be a bit like the rock star that he is. So I grew up around music and just kind of self-taught. Taught myself guitar, piano, drums, bass, and then eventually I learned how to sing and record myself, and I just kind of fell in love with the process.
Well, and I guess having all that, I imagine you had a lot of that gear at home anyway, right? To
Yeah.
sort of pick up those instruments and learn them,
Oh
and
yeah.
so
Yeah, it's
that helps, right?
expensive. So just having it all enabled me to do all the things that I do, which I'm really blessed with.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and okay, so I mean, as someone who is doing, like you said, there's a lot of genres that sort of encompass what you do, but pop is sort of the main driving force there. You're participating in this future music event, and a lot of the people who are involved are doing strictly hip hop. I mean, there's different aspects of different sounds that come into there, but I mean, I think you're probably more pop than a lot of the other artists who are participating in this. So,
Yeah.
what does it mean to you to be involved in this and sort of potentially introducing your sounds to a different audience than maybe you're already receiving?
I think it's cool. Honestly, I think that rap and hip hop has become sort of what pop was 10 years ago, the mainstream genre of music. So I think deep down everyone has a love and appreciation for pop music because it's what we grew up on. It's still kind of what we hear on the radio. So I think that it's kind of interesting that I'll be the only one making more poppy kind of music, and I think that uh maybe I'll be like set apart from the others, and I don't know, I just hope people like it.
Does having that sort of those different influences, like you said, I mean, you're playing a lot of pop stuff, but you have hip hop influences. Those things come in, and other genres as well. Does that give you more sort of versatility when it comes to playing shows? Like, I'm not sure how active you've been playing shows to date, but I mean, are you able to sort of fit in a lot of different bills and a lot of different shows because you have that versatility?
Yeah, like I would say that being able to play instruments and perform in that sense brings a completely different vibe to a live show. I've played a couple shows now, like nothing crazy, but my last one, the first couple was just kind of singing over backing track, which seems to be kind of the norm nowadays. And I found it to be just missing something that gives that live show the excitement of being a live show, right?
Totally.
So I brought my acoustic guitar out and I brought an electric drum kit, and I actually pulled someone from the crowd to play drums with me over just a couple cover songs. And I found that to be just so fun. And the crowd was super engaged because they knew the songs too, right? So kind of like that, guitar around the bonfire, everyone singing along kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Definitely brought a different aspect to the live show. So that's one example for sure.
And then if people are hearing about you for the first time here, I mean, hopefully they'll see you at the show. But what's the best way to find your music nowadays and to find out what you're up to as far as potential upcoming live shows and things like that?
Um, Probably just Instagram. I post on Instagram. I try to, at least. I'm not great with the whole social media posting every day thing, but oh, that's my lighting. Um, I post on Instagram as much as I can. So everything that fans need to find is on there. I try to post on TikTok as well. And all my music's on Spotify and Apple, all the platforms. So
Did I see correctly that you have a Christmas album as well?
I do.
Want to just tell me a bit about that? Because that's kind of unusual. I mean, there's lots of Christmas albums out there, but it's usually something that you don't expect young people to be making.
Right. I don't know. I don't know what you can say other than I love Christmas, and I love music. So one day I heard this Christmas beat while I was looking for some beats online, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And like nobody's making Christmas music. So I made one, and it was like so fun that I just kind of was like, I'm gonna make a little 5-piece EP for Christmas, and try to do it again this year. It's actually like very challenging because you just kind of like when you're writing, you're like, oh, it's all been said and done. How am I gonna say this differently, right? But it was a lot of fun, and I actually have gotten into like sync licensing, like sending my music off to be in movies and TV shows,
Cool.
stuff like that. And there's actually a large demand for Christmas music in kind of like Hallmark movies, stuff like that, right? So it's actually kind of a gold mine. So
That's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, I guess there's so many of those movies that just like made for TV or direct to streaming or whatever
Yeah.
that get made every year. So that's
Mhm.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. And the thing about Christmas music too is that it's like every single year they come back into style, right? So
Right on. All right, welcome to Witchpolice Radio. I'm here with another person who's participating in these feature music shows, and I've had some pretty interesting conversations so far with all the artists who are getting involved, and I know there's a lot more of you to come. But I think the best way to start this off is if you want to just introduce yourself and give a bit of background about what it is that you do as an artist.
Hi, my name is General. I go by the name General, aka Badman General. I make music. I'm an Afrobeat influenced artist, so I literally use Afrobeats to mix into different genres like dancehall, drill, I'm on piano, different couple other stuff. But yeah,
How long have you been doing this? How long have you been performing?
I've been performing for a year now. So by May 13th, to be a year since I
Okay,
started.
cool. So that's, I mean, I think like a lot of people participating in these events, you're fairly new as an artist. What has your experience been like so far in the local music scene? Getting yourself started, getting your name out there, and things like that.
It's really interesting actually. When I going out to perform at first is really like actually scary, being on stage, looking at like a lot of people you don't know and trying
Yeah,
to convince them your music is good. But like after a while you get used to it and then you find the people who actually vibe with you in the crowd and you start vibing with them. You meet people after the show, you meet a lot of artists, and there are a couple of great artists in the city, by the way.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. So, did you find it fairly easy to? I mean, once you got over that sort of initial stage fright kind of thing, the
Yeah,
fear of being up there.
yeah.
Once you started to meet people and you got more sort of involved in the scene, did you find it fairly easy to sort of do what you're doing and get your music out there and things like that?
Yep. So one moment I got over the stage fright, and like, realizing everybody was a person at the end of the day and they just want to have fun, it became easy to push my music. It became easy to relate with everybody, to be honest. And the city is really welcoming if the people to talk to because like, Ezo Man put everybody on. Like you said, some of the people in the show are people like I've met at different events and stuff like that. Everybody really just wants to like, have fun.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone wants to get out there and share what they're doing too, right? So,
Yeah.
do you obviously a lot of the people participating in the show, most of them fit under the hip hop umbrella in some way. Like you said, right from the outset, you're blending a lot of Afrobeat sounds in there. Do you sort of feel like you have found a place where you fit within the larger Winnipeg hip hop community now that you've kind of established yourself a bit more?
Yeah, I actually believe I have because like most of my friends are drill rappers, Latino rappers and stuff like that. None of them are the regular artists, but like they found their way to merge it in. And like once I met them and I realized how they did it, it became easier for me too because like I know how to speak English, but at the same time I also have my dialect as well. Not knowing how to speak it as much, but more like the broken English parts, so I incorporate that into like the lyrics, right? But then knowing that not every audience can understand what I say, I find a way to make it sound Afro, but still English words. And then when I'm
Okay.
singing in my own language, I also like still make it sound like the music we hear here, but still in my language type of stuff.
So you're taking elements from both cultures and mixing them together. What
Exactly.
has the response been from people who maybe aren't from the same cultural background as you and maybe don't understand language wise? Has it been a pretty positive reception?
Oh, it really has. So like me and my friends opened for Afro Man last year, October, I believe, and we came on stage, and we introduced ourselves. We started singing. We had this drill song that we introduced some elements of like dancehall, drill, and Latin rap into it. So like four of us performed the track, and it was really, really dope. Like everybody was so lit. I have some videos on my Instagram about it and stuff, but you can definitely check that out. It was really, really amazing. So like, yeah, it really works out. People like that stuff. So I guess we should definitely be doing more of it.
Well, do you think there's an appetite here in the city for people who want to hear sort of those blended genres, not necessarily just drill or just dancehall or just Afro beats? They want to hear kind of elements of a lot of different things
Yeah,
mixed
they want
together.
to hear that. Like that's the thing. Hip hop is like a blend of literally everything, right? So
Sure.
like everybody just like they didn't at most before they were just hearing rap, 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 rap. So like they didn't even know that they wanted it's almost like an acquired taste type of stuff. And then like since like last year till now, we've like built up a whole ass like audience. Excuse my language.
Sorry.
Towards the movement we're doing right now towards the like the new wave of hip hop type of stuff because
Yeah.
like it's a new blend of like the stuff we're used to, the drill rap, the J. Cole, everything like the let me see, Kendrick Lamar, Don Toliver. We literally mix those type of music into like the stuff we make, making it sound just like the one you hear on a regular day. So yeah, there's a lot of appetite for it.
Well, and it seems like, I mean, I'm a little older, I think, than a lot of the people who are participating in this. And when I grew up, like you said, it was just rap. Like, I mean, it was very much just kind of like in the '90s and early 2000s, it was straight ahead hip hop, and a lot of these other influences weren't part of the sound. I mean, there was definitely a Winnipeg sound, but it wasn't incorporating from some of these other genres. And it seems like it's become much more multicultural now. Not that it wasn't, in terms
Yeah,
of the people doing it before, but
no,
it seems like it's more people are more open to hearing those sounds from different cultures, rather than those people having to do kind of the standard of what rap was supposed to be.
exactly. Yeah, so like like you said before, like the music that was most listened to before was more like one niche. But like now there's a whole lot more people like been listened to because of the internet. Everybody's exposed to everything, right? So it's not just the music you grew up with anymore. It's more like, oh, there's this people, oh, and this is how they sing type of stuff. It's more than just the music, it's the culture.
Yeah,
Because like you said, when you were growing up, there was not this much music, but also because there was not this many people from different cultures around.
for sure. Yeah, it's great. It's great to see too. I mean, I think it goes beyond just hip hop too. I mean,
Yeah,
so many other genres of music in Winnipeg and everywhere are getting influenced by stuff from all over the place, and it's really making
exactly.
for some cool sounds.
Exactly. It's really amazing to see, to be honest. I'm really happy to see that. Like, because like as an artist, you don't want to be afraid of going on the stage because people might not like your music, or this is not your audience. But like that's not what we worry about anymore. It's more about whether the people there want to vibe or not. Because like we know that the moment we come on stage, the song's already that good type of stuff because it's exactly what they liked hearing before. It's
Yeah,
just something new introduced into it.
right. And you don't have to worry about them not being your audience because you can make them your audience because they're sort of
Exactly.
primed for hearing different sounds.
Exactly, exactly. Like I don't even have to explain a lot. I appreciate the fact that you understand. Perfect.
what what is this opportunity to be part of this event mean to you as an artist? I mean, again, you're fairly new still. You've been doing this for about a year. What is having this chance to perform at this future music show mean to you?
It means a lot to be honest, because like when Izoman reached out to me on regards to this event, it was like I'm like I just literally have been performing for 6, 7 months, and I was like, I don't know if I'm ready, right? I was like, I'm not sure if I can actually go on the stage, I don't know if I could bring a crowd too. I wasn't sure of any of those things, and like that's something you need to know as an artist,
Sure.
But like right now, I'm happy because from all the way from back then, it was like I was like, this is a really, really big opportunity, and like I'm not sure if I can fill into those shoes, but now I can. I feel confident and even happier because now that I know I can feel into it, it's even like bigger to me because like it's like I can actually show my music to these people that want to listen to it type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it really
So
means a lot.
if people are hearing about you for the first time on here, what's the best way to find more of your music or find out what you're up to, playing, future shows and things like that?
You can check me out on literally every platform. I'm on Instagram as badman_general. So badman_GNRL. So like that's my username. And on Spotify, Apple Music, and every other streaming platform, you can find me as G_NRL. That's what you
Awesome.
can.
All right. So I think that the best way to start this off is if you want to just introduce yourself and give a bit of background about what it is you do as an artist.
Yeah, sounds good. How you doing? My name is St. Luther. I guess best way to describe what I do as an artist is um, I am more so a vocalist, so I'm not doing any producing or things like that. I help out, here and there, but I'm more so focusing on catching a vibe. I make music that I really enjoy to listen to, which was a transition from what I was doing, I guess, before. I made music that I thought others wanted to listen to. I make music that is mostly just I guess you could describe it as like jazz, funk, soul, rap. Basically, I'm going in that direction for it, and I'm just trying to have like a really good time making my music, and I want that to be portrayed in what other people do. I also run a group called Section, or run with a group called Section 7, and we rent out studio time, and we're working together as a collective as well, just helping each other out, creating content, things like that. So that's kind of what I do in the music aspect of things right now.
Cool, cool. And so for the show that's coming up that you're playing at, you were sort of a last minute addition to the lineup. So what
Yeah.
is it? What is this like? What does this mean to you to get involved in something like this? That's kind of hopefully giving you exposure to a different audience or a wider audience.
Oh, for me, look, this is a really big opportunity. Last year to this year, moving forward, I've seen a lot of growth for myself and where things are going. So it's a really big opportunity. I'm really blessed to be able to be a part of it, and it's definitely um, giving me a lot more motivation to just keep on moving in the direction that I am and just continue to work even harder.
Well, you said a little bit at the beginning there that you kind of are now moving into doing music that you want to hear and that you want to do rather than music for what you thought the audience was interested in. So can you maybe expand on that a little? Like what were you just sort of doing music that you felt was kind of the popular stuff, and now you're sort of moving to more what your actual interests are?
So it's more like a full circle. So what you described was as the first phase was really the second phase of
Okay.
my journey in music. I got into music after my mother had passed away, and my friend at the time had invited me because he was a producer to come down and start rapping and just doing that. So it became as this like hobby thing that I did for fun as a way to just get my emotions out and just vent and kind of express myself at the time. So it was more so a coping mechanism.
Okay.
Then I started taking it more seriously, and then when I started taking it seriously, I lost myself in that how do I turn this into like a business and brand myself and do all that stuff. And then eventually, I got so fed up with that, I just went, okay, I'm gonna simplify this and just start over.
Does it
And that's
feel? Do you feel more
yeah,
genuine now that you're doing what you want to do? You
far
feel
more
like
genuine.
the songs you're writing are coming across more as like a representation of who you are and what you're what you're into?
100%. I think more so for the sound specifically, it's something that I'm a lot more keen on making and listening to myself. Before, when I used to make my music, I would never listen to myself. Now I will actually listen to one of my songs.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You want to be able to listen to your own songs, right? That's
Oh
probably a
yeah, no,
key.
that was like the weird dynamic, right? So it's just like it sounds so obvious, but like it wasn't at the time for me. And now that I'm at that point, I'm like, okay, this is making much more sense.
Yeah, for sure. So what I guess what's your background as far as the type of music you were into? Because like you said, you're venturing into more kind of the soul and funk and all these and jazz and all these genres. What's your sort of background as a listener? What kind of music were you into coming up?
So growing up, my mom, so I was exposed to a lot of different styles of music very young, and I loved music as a child. So I always would be listening to just different things, and like everywhere from like I was listening to like jazz and blues as a kid, all the way to like heavy metal and rock to like rap that my mom was giving me when I was like 6, 7 years old. She gave me Will Smith's Free Willy. I got Ludacris's Red Light District. I got Eminem's Some Shady LP. Like this is when I was like very young. I remember this one song my dad really liked called Mr. Wendell. I
Okay,
forget who it's by, but
it's Arrested Development.
this is like Arrested Development. Thank you. You know what it is. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. It's like my dad showed me that song, and that's the first song I ever memorized word for word. So that was like the first ever hip hop rap song that I fell in love with, and then
Okay.
that since then kind of has been this cascading event of me just like exploring music and going further into just hip hop.
Yeah.
That one song just for some reason just hit different because me and my dad shared it.
Cool. Well, that's always good to have that kind of connection with the song too, right? Rather than just, oh, I hear this and I like it. When you associate it with like a past event or a relationship with someone, it has that extra kind of level of personal meaning to you, right?
Yeah, and I love that song just because it has such a good message, and like I love all the aspects of hip hop, especially like what I loved in that song. I also loved in like some of it like Eminem when I was growing up, and then Ludacris. It's just I loved how the music grew, and like I like having fun in the music, and that's what I think I liked a lot about like Ludacris and Eminem. But that song is like the root of it all, where I always like to have like a solid message to a lot of the things and
Yeah.
songs I make, be able to influence people in a positive way.
What did you have you figured out? I mean, Winnipeg has always had a strong rap scene, even going back to the 80s. There's been rappers in
Oh yeah.
Winnipeg, and I grew up in I'm 40 years old, so when I went to rap shows in the 90s and the early 2000s and stuff, and there's always been a big scene. Now it seems like it's expanded even more, and there's like I mean, an event like this happening, over a series of months with all these rappers and people participating. Have you kind of found where you fit in within the local music scene? Because there's so many sort of sub scenes and variations on hip hop and on just music in general in Winnipeg.
So for myself, I'd say that's a double-edged sword of a yes and a no. I have my group of people that I work with, so my team, and that's
Yep.
like my Section 7. That's consisting of myself, my Anthony, Nate Devine, Tom Zodag, and Tech Pro. I don't think and Hayes, of course, our producer Hayes as well. And I've been working with them for the past year and a bit now. So like those are my people, but I'm still figuring out my genre and my niche and like that audience group that I'm more so in that community. I guess is the right word I'm looking for. I'm still finding my community. I
Okay.
guess when it comes to music, so like I'm taking my time, and like I feel like also that it's like a meeting process, you know. So it's like I'm walking towards it, and they're also walking towards me.
For sure, for sure. So if people are hearing about you for the first time on this show, what's the best way to find out more about what you're doing? First of all, hear your music, and then find out what you have coming up as far as potential releases or shows or things down the road.
I definitely follow my Instagram, and my Instagram is where I will give the most information and put things out that way. So that's Saint Luther official. My TikTok as well is Saint Luther the Center. That's another one where I'll post a lot up on there. But I'm normally staying really active on everything along those lines, where you can find what I'm doing and what I'm posting and what's coming up next.
As far as hearing your music, do you have any songs out now? People
Oh, that's
check
on
out?
all streaming platforms. I
All
have like
streaming
links to all that stuff, so you can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, everything like that. So if you just search up Saint Luther, you should find me, because my name. There's not a lot of people that go by my name or anything similar.
Awesome, awesome.